cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me. One step closer.
Yeah, folks. About to break. Yep. If you're a Browns fan, that's where you are. Welcome to the Doghouse. Your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Browns insider from WKYC Sports in Cleveland, Matt Florjancic, coming off of a 30-9 drubbing at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rivals? Maybe. Steelers don't see you that way. The Steelers took pity on you. They took 4 kneel downs at the end of the game. Mike Tomlin had seen enough. He didn't want to hurt you anymore. There's no rivalry. You got punked again. And the Browns go into the bye week at 2-8. The Doghouse brought to you by SportsInteraction.com. Go SportsInteraction.com/Browns to that fine sports betting site. And if you go that code, SportsInteraction.com/Browns, they will match up to $200 of your first deposit. So you put down 20, you have 40 in your account to bet on all types of sports, football, baseball, MMA. You could have won some money going against Ronda Rousey on the weekend when she lost her UFC title. But, Matt, we go into the bye week, and man, like there is no hope. Owner Jimmy Haslam also, we heard after the game, said there will be no changes during the bye week.
Well, then there's going to be no changes in the results that he sees on any given Sunday, because you cannot expect to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expect a different result. You know
but they
what
do.
That is? That's called the definition of insanity.
But they do think that, Matt.
I know they think that, but they can't. They cannot keep thinking that. It doesn't result in wins.
No, it doesn't. And the Pittsburgh Steelers improved to 6-4 in the thick of yet another playoff race, wild card, keeping it interesting. The Browns season, you're done, folks. Like there was maybe the illusion, if you were really smoking something good, that at 2-7, if they won out, you might have a hint at a wild card, which was insane to begin with. But now at 8, you're done. It's over. We're gonna save our. I've made an executive decision, Matt. We're gonna save our first quarterback college outlook a piece or section of the show until early December, the first show of December. Okay, we're going to at least put it on hold till then.
God bless you, man, because I hate talking about the draft. I know that's all we
have
to look forward to in this town. That's our Super Bowl, because the people that we put in charge are absolutely inept at what they do. Because, and I'm not saying they're bad at what they do.
This group is.
I want to, but the fact is that the way that the organization is structured right now, there's a power vacuum at the top, because Jimmy Haslam, in his infinite wisdom, made his president report directly to him, his head coach report directly to him, and his general manager directly report to him. So you have 3 people who, by and large, should be reporting up the ladder to one another, having to deal with each other as equals, so nothing gets done.
Yeah.
And then you have an owner who is in town once a week, and as long as the bottom line keeps growing fatter, he's okay with that. That's not how you win. That's not how the Steelers win. That's not how the Patriots win. Robert Kraft puts people in charge, puts a structure in place, and said, do it, and if you don't do it, guess what? You're out the door.
That's it.
He finds people that know how to do their jobs. Alex Scheiner, great businessman. Got naming rights sold to a stadium. Got Jerry Jones, his brand new playpen down in Dallas before he came over, and he got renovations done to a stadium. Congratulations. You should not be rewarded with an opportunity to make a draft pick. You should not be in the war room. You should not be in the film room learning how to watch film and how to break down TV. Your job is to be the man at the top of the organization making a rich man richer.
Right.
and Ray Farmer, your job is not to be sending text messages to the coaching staff saying, I want to see this guy or I want to see this guy. Your job is to sit in the booth on Sunday and watch the mess that you created come to fruition, just like the rest of us poor bastards have to. And Mike Pettin, you don't need to be worried about anything except dusting off that resume, my friend, because you have won just 2 games in your last 15 tries.
Wow.
You are 2-15 or 2-13 in your last 15 tries. My man, you're firing yourself.
It's over.
You think you're in good with the owner? That's fine. But it ain't going to last.
Maybe he'll send you a
Because
Christmas
the owner
card.
is going to get embarrassed, and quite frankly, losing to his old team 30-9, that's grounds for dismissal right there, pal. You're knocking on the door, and somebody's going to answer it real quick.
Well, that's what got Chud fired. Rob Chudzinski, last game of the season, embarrassed. Jimmy Haslam made an emotional decision, booted him out the door. We want to hear from you on Twitter about this, too, at AndyMC81, at Matt Fleur-Jancic. You can email the show, The Doghouse Show, DAWG, TheDogHouseShow at gmail.com. And I put a couple different questions there today, Matt, and we'll get to it in the Barkov a little bit later on. And one is, okay, what's your reaction, Browns fans, to owner Jimmy Haslam saying there will be no changes at the bye week? And the other question surrounded, all right, what should be done? Do you think there should be something done now when it comes to firing GM, coaches, coordinators, whatever? Or are you okay to wait, let this mess play itself out? Because, Matt, right now, if the season were to end right now, the Browns would have the first overall pick. They'd have the first overall pick in the draft. So my thinking is, I don't know if Jimmy Haslam's thinking this way too, leave these guys here. By them trying to win, they will give you the first overall pick, and that makes a job to a new GM, coach, a head of football operations, whatever, so much more appealing if you can come in and say, hey, you got the first pick in this draft. You build this in your vision.
Well, then that would lend itself to why there's not making changes, because the time to save this season, it passed about 4 losses ago, and they were sitting 2-4.
Yeah.
You thought they might have made a change and maybe just had Pet take over the defense and, try to win things from there. But I was going over some statistics yesterday, and it kind of made me nauseous. This team has lost 5 straight games.
Right.
But if you look at them, they've given up 30 or more points in 3 straight, and they've allowed at least 24 points in 6 straight, all but one of which have been losses.
Wow.
And it's absolutely abhorrent to think that this team can continue to play football and be allowed to play football. If this was the English Premier League, the Browns would have been relegated to the second class of the league a long time ago. Jimmy Haslam would have bought a minor league franchise, essentially.
Yeah.
And he would have paid a hell of a lot less money for it. So I look at this, I say it's a mess. It's going to continue to be a mess as long as certain people are in place. And I'm not going to get into that in this forum, at least not yet. I'll wait till the end of the season to make my full judgment. But the way it's built and the way it's designed to get the first overall pick in the draft that you can hand to a new general manager, a new coach, or a new vice president of football operations, because it looks like Peyton Manning is getting closer to knocking on the door of retirement every single day. And they benched him for Brock Osweiler yesterday, and being the fact that he is a legend in the great state of Tennessee, and surprise, surprise, where is our owner from?
Right.
I think Peyton Manning is going to get one hell of a look at being a John Elway-esque executive. My contention is he going to find a Hall of Fame quarterback that gets released and he's able to sign him as a free agent to help nurse along a defense that took about 5 years to build? Because that's essentially what the Broncos model has been. They took a long time to build that defense, literally piece by agonizing piece. And they even let a couple pieces go, and Elvis Dumerville and some other guys. And they had to rebuild on the fly, but they went and they got a good offense by getting a good quarterback who just happened to be in a very crazy situation with his contract in Indianapolis, and then not wanting him back and all that good stuff. So I look at this and say, Jimmy Haslam may be hedging his bet, and he may be trying to get Peyton Manning to come in and run this thing, and you may want to give Peyton the first overall pick, but that doesn't guarantee that the team's going to do anything. They have to figure out a lot of things before they just worry about making that first overall pick. They have to figure out whether or not a guy who can make money in the business realm deserves to be in a draft room, because I have a feeling that if they bring in anybody competent, the first move is going to be, you are out of my draft room, and if you don't want to get out of my draft room, you're going to be out of my organization. Your choice.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem with Peyton Manning is, too, I'd love him to come here, but there's reports he's getting offers to come to the University of Tennessee, of course, where he went to school. There's the Titans who are in a rebuild mode. So he has a lot of options. It's not like and who knows, maybe if he does hang him up, he'll want to take a year or two off and hang around and relax a little bit. There's nothing to say that Peyton Manning is coming for sure. But Matt, you know what? I just want somebody in there this time to run things. And I think you're absolutely right with the structure is terrible. Like you need somebody, not Joe Banner, but you need somebody in that same type of role that is more football-oriented than business-oriented, and everybody funnels to him. And somebody like a Peyton Manning, somebody who it's not their first time doing it. Somebody who, if Alex Shiner or anybody else in the organization that's still there at the end of the year comes in and tries to give him crap, it's like, no, you are listening to me or you are gone. You can't have a rookie do that. You can't have a rookie coach have that power. And that's part of the problem, isn't it, Matt? Because you have a rookie GM, second-year GM, second-year head coach, both first time in the job, and nobody has any sort of power, so nothing gets done. And the defensive coordinator, Matt, for some reason, I don't know why this hasn't been done, it's clearly Mike Benton holding on, grasping at straws for his buddy. Jim O'Neill is the worst defensive coordinator in all of football. Pick your North American League, CFL, NFL, Arena League. Like, can you think of a worse defensive coordinator anywhere than Jim O'Neill?
Yeah, somebody that coaches in the Big 12 conference where they don't believe in defense.
At least they know.
Baylor or Texas Christian University, where they can just outscore people 65 to 50.
But we can't do that, Matt. We can't do that. So you have to play defense, especially when this team was built around defense. And you mentioned earlier, too, with Ray Farmer, draft picks looking at the mess he created. Well, I don't put full blame on Cam Irving. Tough assignment. First start at left guard. He looked a bit like a fish out of water, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But, again, that's a first start.
Sure.
I'm more willing to give him a shot than, say, Justin Gilbert, who for some reason, and we never got a clear answer on it other than the fact that they wanted to see Charles Gaines. I don't understand why this team wants to see sixth-round picks and bench first-round picks, but it's pretty evident that there's a power struggle between Pettin and Farmer, and what's killing me is that Pettin wanted a cornerback.
Yes, and he wanted
may not
Gilbert.
Have wanted Justin Gilbert, but he put the request in for a corner. I want a shutdown corner opposite my other shutdown corner.
Yep.
And that's what Ray Farmer went out and got him. So now you're looking at Ray Farmer saying, oh, it's his fault for drafting Justin Gilbert. Well, not if the head coach demanded it. I mean, hell, what the hell is he supposed to do? Yeah, I guess draft another corner and maybe do more research and actually go to the pro days. Because from outsiders, Matt, that's a problem.
If you don't go to pro days and you don't get to know the guy, like if me and you are watching tape or looking at stats or reading reviews on the player, we can think he's the greatest thing going. I love the pick of Justin Gilbert. I thought that was great to get that other shutdown corner. However, little did we know he was a head case, and if you would have went to the pro days and actually done research like a proper general manager would do, you would have found that out, and you probably would have passed on Justin Gilbert, who, again, was a healthy scratch. Oh, by the way, so is Dwayne Bowe.
The Dwayne Bowe thing, I'm going to blame squarely on Pettin. They keep saying he does everything right during the week to get on the field, but it comes down to special teams. I'm so sick of hearing that.
Yeah.
This team has always had a problem with being more concerned about the 53rd man on the roster than an actual player who can help you on scrimmage downs. And they go out and they get Marlon Moore, who may impact the game once every 5 weeks. And you're not going to get a guy who went out there and he played his ass off for you against Cincinnati. I give Dwayne Bowe a little bit of a pass and a lot of credit. Granted, you're getting paid $9 million, so I'm sure it's easier to go to work